Hello everyone! In the previous lecture, we created a turntable animation. This time, we'll learn how to output that animation as a video. There are multiple output methods, and you need to choose the right one depending on your purpose. Let's look at each one in detail. The output methods we'll learn this time can be broadly divided into three types. Pattern 1. PNG image sequence with a transparent background. This outputs 150 images. You can convert these into a video using video editing software. Pattern 2. Transparent background MOV video. Outputs as a single video file with the background remaining transparent. Pattern 3. MP4. Video with background included. Exports as a single video file including the background. Let's look at each one. First, from Output Properties, decide on the resolution and set the frame rate. Frame rate indicates how many images per second make up the video. The unit is FPS, frames per second. This time, set it to 30 frames per second. Under the Frame Range section, verify that frame start is set to 1 and end is set to 150. This should match the range set in the previous lecture. This will output a 5-second animation at 150 frames, 30 frames per second. The file path is displayed under the Output section. Click the folder icon on the right. From there, you can specify the save location and file name. First, let's look at how to output a sequence of transparent background PNG images. The advantage of this method is that since it's a sequence of PNG images, you can edit specific frames later. Even if rendering is interrupted, the progress is saved, allowing you to resume rendering from where it stopped. You can also split frames across multiple PCs for rendering and composite them later. In Render Properties, go to Film and make sure the Transparent checkbox is checked. Next, go back to Output Properties and change File Format to PNG. When you change to PNG format, you'll see a color option appear below. Change this to RGBA. Selecting RGBA preserves transparency information. Select Render Animation from the top menu to start rendering the animation. Progress will be displayed as frames are rendered one by one. Once it reaches 100%, you'll find 150 PNG images saved in your specified folder. When you import these sequential images into video editing software, they can be used as a video with a transparent background. Next, here's how to output them as a single MOV video file while maintaining the transparent background. This method makes it easier to manage everything in one file. Check that Transparent is selected under Film in Render Properties. In Output Properties, change File Format to FFmpeg Video. Below File Format, you'll see the Encoding section appear and change Container to QuickTime. Select QuickTime Animation for Video Codec and change Color to RGBA. If you do not change it to RGBA, the transparency information will be lost. Specify the save folder and file name under Output. When animation rendering completes via Render Animation, one MOV format video file with a transparent background will be created. Finally, here's how to output as an MP4 video including the background. There are two options for handling the background. Option A is to use the HDRI environment image directly as the background. Option B is to use only the HDRI lighting and set the background to a color of your choice. Unchecking Film, Transparent in Render Properties will display the HDRI image directly as the background. However, since the scale between the garment and HDRI may not match perfectly, I recommend using a field of view that focuses on specific areas. Option A Under Output, change file format to FFmpeg video. Under Encoding, set container to MPEG-4. Then set video codec to H.264. When animation rendering completes in Render Animation, an MP4 video will be created. Option B. Click the Shading tab at the top of the screen and select World in the Shader Editor. Select the background node and duplicate it using Shift+D. Click the color of the duplicated background node and change it to your preferred color. Press Shift+A, select Mix Shader from Shaders, and a node will be added. Connect both background nodes to the Mix Shader node. Press Shift+A, select Light Path from Inputs. Connect the Is Camera Ray output of the Light Path node to the Factor input of the Mix Shader. Now the background will show your chosen color. However, the lighting and reflections on the garment will still use the HDRI light source. Once the animation rendering completes, you will have a realistically lit MP4 video with a solid color background.